until the negotiation process is done, and then everybody will move forward to where they belong at that point. Unfortunately, this one's just taking long.
But what happens if not enough is offered to move everyone on the guide then?
You're jumping ahead, so I prefer to finish the negotiations.
And may I ask a follow-up question to your first question? If you don't think it's that the people don't value education, why do you think they have voted down the budget, and what are you as a board going to do to prevent this from happening again then if it's not the value of education?
Oh, yeah, Jackie?
If you recall, last year the governor came out and said if teachers didn't take a freeze on their salaries, voters should vote down their budgets, school budgets, and it had a pretty good effect in the state. It was very effective. It's most unfortunate in this district that we were caught in the middle with negotiations ongoing. I severely regretted it. It was very hard to do the budget, not knowing what we were supposed to budget for teachers' salaries, because it was a question mark, as it is again now. I would love to see this negotiation concluded and a little more black and white instead of so much gray. Now, I don't know if the voters will feel any differently this year. I don't know that their economic circumstances have changed, and they may feel the same way.
So how will, if you're placing it on this demagogue who has offered false promises to this area, how are you going to combat those false promises as a board?
A number of you here live in the area, and when you go out and vote, you're going to be voting perhaps on our budget. You may want to talk to your neighbors and explain the situation to them. It does not help anyone to defeat the budget. It doesn't help our property values. So those that don't even have someone in the school district can be hurt eventually if our schools start to slip. Because why do people need to live in Mendham or Chester or Washington Township for that matter? We're not exactly company towns. So what pulls a lot of people here are the benefits to their families, good schools, good education. If we can't provide that, why do they need to live here? So it would help everyone if we keep up our budget and pass our budgets. One of the things realtors, use as a selling point sometimes is that a school district will pass its budget. So we have Bob here, a reporter from the Observer. If he can get out some of the message, that would help. We don't have a daily newspaper right here in our community, so we can reach out as best we can, and we're working on it.
Thank you, Mrs. Tran.
Michelle Riccardello, Long Valley. As a voter, as a parent, as a taxpayer, just for the record, I did vote for the budget. Well, honestly, I voted for the high school budget. I did not vote for the K through 8. I have children in both. What I can tell you is from talking to other people who attended those meetings, and a lot of it is not so much the value on education, but we all know times are hard. People are out of work. They're asking corporate America, probably for the first time in a long time, being asked to do more with less. People are being laid off. People's hours are increasing without any compensation for that. Specifically to K through 8, it wasn't about not valuing the teachers, not giving them what they were worth. It was more about there was a lot of fat. A lot of people felt there was fat in the budget. There's fat in the administrative area of the budget, in the way money is spent, not for its people, not for the value of its people, but for all the other things. And people will vote no to send a message to say, we value our teachers, but we don't like the way you're spending our money. And I think that was the message. Unfortunately, it was a bad time. It was a bad time for New Jersey. It was a bad time. This area, which is relatively affluent, got hit very hard. A lot of people were out of work from high-paying jobs. And I think people are trying to send a message, hey, we all are going to have to try to do the same, or at least maintain with less. It's being asked of everyone across the board. And that's just my 10 cents, a little bit more than 2, just that.
Thank you, Michelle. Any other questions or comments? Somebody?
Just a quick question, Roy Hamlin, Mendham again. This may be for Mr. Keckman. How much money did the district get from the Obama stimulus?
$179,000.
And can that be put towards a settlement like teachers' benefits and cover the cost of
It can
salary
be put towards a
benefits?
settlement this year only.
This year only? Okay. Okay, thank you.
Anthony Feely, I'm a history teacher at Wyndham, 26 years. I'm also a resident in the borough. My son is a type 1 diabetic, and I was forced to pay 1.5% more to the state for my benefits. I'm wondering where that's going in this whole process. This has nothing to do with negotiations. I'm willfully paying it, and I want to know if you guys are getting it back or what is going on with my 1.5%.
It's being used for to offset the cost of the insurance premiums. That was what the state had designed it for, to withhold the 1.5 with the intended purpose of showing a reduction in health benefit costs to the districts. So that's how it's being utilized.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? I think, yes.
Again, Adam Fitting, Washington Township. I cooled down a little bit, at least my heart rate. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry, sir, I don't recall your name either, but I'm a businessman as well. And I would say that what you have here is the investors are dissatisfied with leadership. They're not dissatisfied with the line employees. They're dissatisfied with leadership. And if you have a business, you have to please your investors. You have to give them a return on investment. At the end of the day, there's no profit involved. The only profit is that these children get good educations and they're prepared to compete in a global economy. The line employees are doing their job. But where's the marketing departments for these budgets? Where's the PR campaign? Where's the communication? Where's the transparency that's necessary to communicate the value of what you're trying to do? And I'll take you at your word. If you really care about this, and you really care about these people, and the people that are here from 7 in the morning until about 3 in the afternoon, are we working a contract? But if you really, really understand that, as managers, as leaders, which is what you've been elected to do, you've been elected to lead education policy in this district. You're not just functionaries, you're not bureaucrats, you're elected officials. The electorate is looking to you for leadership. People that work for you are looking to you for leadership. They're looking for you to make a compelling case, not to create anarchy, but if it's necessary, maybe create a little anarchy. When the country staged a revolution against the king, there were budgets, there were taxes, there were all those good things. And we said, you know what? It's not acceptable. We deserve better, we need more, and we demand change. So I submit to you and I ask you for leadership. There's no one that won't support a budget that they understand, that they can see value directly from. We don't buy products that we think are garbage. We don't buy meat that's full of fat. We want the real thing. We want it homegrown, we want it close, we want it good. I think the responsibility of you guys, if you work so hard, and I believe you do, to create value in an education in this district, to let the people know. If you ran on, I don't know what you ran on, I don't know what your platforms were when you ran for office, but if they aren't compelling enough to drive the electorate forward and to drive progress in education, then why are we here? If you're not willing to stand up for those principles and then why are you here? If you're not willing to say, you know what, if you don't pass this budget, we all resign. Because y'all may be the electorate, but you don't know what you're talking about. We've looked at it, this is what's necessary, and if you ain't going to support it, then you don't support us, we're gone. Elect some new people. But please, show some leadership. 2 years without a contract. Budgets and all that kind of thing have come and gone. Economic circumstances have come and gone. The investor class of which there's a high proportion in this district. We're in what's known as the wealth belt of the United States. The investor class has gotten much, much wealthier. People who live in the sort of homes that we have in this district have gotten much, much wealthier.
Mr. Finning, your 5 minutes is up. If you
Thank
have
you.
additional comments. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Michelle Castanori. I work at Westmore Central as an English teacher. I worked here for 17 years. I would just also like to make a comment on the business model. I worked in corporate America for some time before I became a teacher. I don't recall any employees coming in before the designated time to report to work or staying after the work day unless they were mandated to by a boss or unless they had something to personally gain like comp time or overtime. Thank you.
Dennis Jarvis, Mendon High School. I had a question for the board. Did you renegotiate our administrator contracts? And if so, could you give specifics on that? And then furthermore, if you did, what was the justification for their contract renewal and others?
It has been renegotiated and it has been ratified. And we do not have to, they agreed to abide by any benefits, whatever benefits package the association
And what were the specifics exactly? In terms of the percent increase?
1.5 in each of the 3 years with a 3-month, the first 3 months of each year is a freeze. It's an effective settlement of 1.3% in each of 3 years.
Are they still
You
receiving
take
a
into
bonus?
account
The 1.5%.
the 1.5% towards premium, it actually ended up being a negative.
Do they still receive the bonus stuff? Is that still part of their package?
There's no bonuses.
There's no bonus.
The word bonus is not allowed in the state of New Jersey.
Initiatives?
Other questions?